We're back.
Back again.
Welcome to another episode of Running on Stoke. Longest day, happy summer. Longest day of the year so far.
Yeah.
And they all get shorter from here, which is depressing. Sorry about that, but
Hot start to it.
you want to know what's cool though is like a month ago. So I'm a guy that gets really depressed. Like based on the daylight. So like a month ago, I made note that this was coming up and like how bright it was, and I was like, I'm good. Come August. Like a month from now, I'll be depressed again when it starts getting darker. But
You think?
I don't know. Probably, maybe not. We live in the Midwest. So, I mean, the sun just set, but
Yeah, that's kind of how it was. Like on the West, like in Portland, like it would set at like 9:30, and I'd be so screwed up. I'd be like,
yeah, I love it though. Oh, it's
yeah,
so nice.
I like it.
Yeah, and
I'm partial.
the other sign of summer. I don't know if you guys saw this, but so down the road here at the package store there, right where John R. and Hamlin are
Don't
there.
dox us right now. There's
Huh?
so many people that could come after us. Don't dox us.
Oh yeah, they're gonna come check our house. Anyway, John R. goes all the way down to the DIA in Detroit. So,
Yeah.
But anyways, there's the package store, liquor store, and then in the parking. Have you seen this? In the parking lot, they're selling fireworks.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Is that not normal?
That's
Kansas,
normal?
that's very normal.
They're not legal in Massachusetts.
Oh
so.
no! Like every parking lot in Topeka is just massive tent with a ton of fireworks with some guy that's.
But
like,
is it in the parking lot of a liquor store?
Oh yeah, liquor store. You've got grocery stores, funeral homes.
Oh yeah, we have a Michigan. I forget, we have a native. That's normal.
Yes.
Okay, we have a
Okay.
Michigander confirming that's normal, and we wonder why.
And
That
it's
there's-
always
that-
whoever's selling it either is missing more teeth than they have, or have less digits on their fingies than 10.
Yeah, I mean the less digis make sense.
You don't want to buy fireworks from a guy that's
Yeah,
got
it's
all of his digits, because that means his stuff ain't good.
No, it's good if you have lawyers. It's bad when they blow up in your hand.
No, I want to buy it from some dude who's got a mangled hand.
Jeez. Oh, okay. Well,
Wow,
anyways.
what a start to this one.
So yeah, we just finished up talking to Frank LARA, who was awesome guest. We got into some great stuff by the
It
end.
was a chaotic interview, which I loved
Yeah,
every minute of.
started off pretty normal, and as you'll listen to, divulged into
A little bit
beating
of
up
everything.
beating up little girls, and on a good way, some dating advice coming up. Before we get into that, I want to thank our sponsor, Stoke here, stokeperformance.com. Check it out. How's the stock looking from the CEO over there? Stock is great. Stock is back. It's through the moon, through the roof, to the moon.
To the moon.
So go ahead and load up. Still have to get. I mean, I've been eating this stuff, but I still have to get the fluff and do the Stoke and fluff. That'll be the next episode.
Yeah, we got to do that live.
I'll have that down. Well, yeah, we'll do it live actually. Live reaction to that.
I like that. Yeah, we should just try some random stuff on it.
Yeah. Other than that,
Yeah, I mean,
you have anything you had?
no, I'm pretty uninspired currently.
All
I
right,
think.
cool. A little
Besides,
exhausted.
I went on that firework rant.
Yeah.
I used everything with Frank.
All right, and so with that, enjoy the interview. Thanks for listening. Hey, boys. So I'd like to welcome Frank LARA here, an ultra-sponsored distance runner who trains with Roots out in Boulder. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Welcome to y'all to the podcast that features me.
that was very Wilkerson-esque there with the y'all. I appreciate that. I guess first question I'm going to hit you with, speaking of shoes and ultra, have you always been a zero-drop shoe guy, or are you converted?
I didn't really wear. I've never tried ultras until they reached out to me in 2020. But prior to that, all through most of college, I was wearing like no support, flat shoes outside of running, and it was kind of like just at the beginning of the craze of like wearing like the super cushiony like UFOs style shoes all the time, and I was like religious about wearing those like constantly, and after a while I was like, I feel like I'm just making myself weaker by wearing nothing else. So then I like working in extremes, so I went the complete opposite direction, and the first week was tough, but after that my calves haven't been tight since then.
Did you suffer with a lot of like calf tightness?
Not really, no. But like, I mean, normally just like doing workouts or general running. But so when Ultra reached out, I had already been wearing balanced cushioned shoes for a good 5 or so years, and it was like, yeah, this seems like a pretty natural transition to me. And Coach Richie, really wanted me to kind of like alternate wearing the shoes I was running in before, so like I'm not like diving in completely, but I tried wearing like, I think it was like Nike Pegs or something, like after trying my first pair of Ultras, and I was like, I cannot wear anything else.
I feel like if you can stay healthy in a peg, you can stay healthy in anything. That's at least my take. No shot at Nike there, but that's my thought process on that. What's your day-to-day trainer? What's your go-to?
I really like the Rivera 3. They recently came out with the new Torin, and that one has been. I didn't like the previous Torin as much because the tongue on the shoe kind of folded over itself a little bit, but I'm a lot more comfortable in it now. But I think the Rivera is kind of the most like, if you hadn't tried like a zero drop shoe before, that's what looks most like a running shoe compared to like the other wider varieties.
So there you go. You heard it here. Go get yourself a pair of Ultras. Use code Frank. Go to any local community Hanson stores. We'll get you 10% off.
There is a code.
There you go.
What's your code? Plug yourself.
I think you have to reach out to me directly for it.
Flood his inbox. Instagram, Twitter, whatever form. Carrier pigeon. We don't care. Get a hold of Frank and get a pair of Ultras.
Actually, yeah. I mean, I guess we'll I have this later in the podcast, but it's a good segue. So your Instagram handle is Dance Frank Dance. Am I correct?
That is right. There's some underscores in there, but that's basically it.
Sorry, Dance _Frank _Dance.
Yeah.
So I mean, me and Jacob, I guess the first time I met you was a very fitting at the Brooks party after Austin, where you were definitely dancing. But what's the story behind the Instagram name?
There's this band I really like. They're called Dance Gavin Dance, and I thought I'd make them my own a little bit and steal their name. I haven't been sued for it yet, but I'm hoping to get their attention. They're coming to Denver on September 3rd. I'm trying to weigh whether I want to go to that or not, because concerts like that, in high school I go to a lot, Vans Warped Tour-esque, and back in high school I had like much taller friends who would crowd around me and protect me from flying elbows. But the last time I went to a similar concert, somebody like dove off the stage Superman style, like right into my face. And that was horrifying.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to unpack that one a little bit. So into your face, you're obviously mosh pitting. It sounds like in that situation. What was it? Was it the same band, or we? It
was a different. It's a French band. They're called Chunk No Captain Chunk, which is a line from the Goonies, which is probably it's a bit before y'all's time, I think.
What's our age difference? Sorry, I gotta figure a lot of things out here with this one.
What do you think it is? How old do you think I am?
I don't think you're much more than 3 years older than me.
I think you're 27.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a really accurate statement.
Inaccurate or accurate?
Accurate. Yeah.
Oh,
no, that was perfect.
Yeah, okay, yeah. See, Nostradamus. Sorry, I interrupted.
I'm not gonna say I didn't do my research before this and saw that your birthday was like 1995 September. Is that right?
Yeah. But how tall am I?
Oh.
I mean,
Chris, you guess first.
I mean, based on what we know, I'm guaranteed 5'11".
Yeah, Chris is guaranteed 5'11".
Not self-declared, but I mean 5'7".
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. See, my problem is I just don't have much of a gauge on people that are smaller than me.
Nor should you.
But, yeah, I don't think about it.
We're lesser.
I mean, no. I'm built so weird in so many different ways that, like, I mean, the height is the only thing I have currently going for me. But
congratulations
I take a stab
on
at
that.
5'5". Are you 5'5"?
I like rounding up to 5'4".
You like rounding up to 5'4"?
Yeah, I think it's 5'3 3/4".
See, like this is a part of this is short king energy, right? Like no high, no. Oh, I'm 5'6". Like I really respect the hell out of this right now, Frank.
Yeah, but I always say I'm 6 feet whenever I'm like feel out of form.
No, as you should confuse everyone. I do like that. We have divulged into craziness early in this, but I like it. I mean, no.
So the band was Chunk No Captain Chunk.
Yep, there we go. We're back to the French.
I don't. I took French in high school, but I don't speak it. But the band only their songs are in English.
Okay.
But you can hear their accent a little bit, especially if you know that they're Parisian. They're a post-core band, which is like screaming but modern.
The crossover we didn't know we needed.
Yeah, they're semi-small, and at the concert I went to, it was like just small enough that everyone there knew every song that they were playing. But also, like, you could also just like walk onto the stage if you want to.
Where was this at in Denver? I lived outside of Denver for like.
This was actually in Houston, Texas, where I grew up.
Oh, this is in Houston?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the venue, but
intimate. It sounds like.
Yeah, for the duration of the concert, there was a guy that was definitely like inebriated in some way. He was kind of, moving around a lot, and near the end, he got up on the stage and dove off Superman style into my face, and I hit the floor shortly afterwards. Almost immediately afterwards, actually.
Yeah, that checks out. Any injuries on that, or was it just no harm, no foul, kind of hug it out situation?
I was taken to the bathroom, and like people told me to put water on my face. I didn't know what was happening. I was fine. My nose bled a little bit, but since then I can't tell. Since that day, I always look in the mirror, and I can't tell if my nose has always looked the way it does, or if that was attributed to that night. But I recently got a septum deviation done or fixed. I got a septoplasty like a few weeks ago, and so the inside of my nose is fixed now, and I can breathe air. It's amazing. I've never really tasted it before.
Do you feel like some surgery like that is going to be beneficial in the future marathons and races that you're going to have? Have you always felt like you've been hampered a little bit by that?
It's hard to know. And I got this done because I spent as long as I can remember, I kind of wake up with nosebleeds pretty consistently. I've never really been able to breathe through my nose super well or evenly. And having it done after London was kind of like ideal, obviously, for like, you have to like take some time off afterwards. But it was like a few weeks after London. So 2 weeks ago, I was probably in the worst shape of my life because of that. Because I had like 2 weeks of like intermittent running without like any reason to run, because I knew I had to like be completely off like a week later. And I am fortunate that I haven't been plagued with many injuries, or like the ones I had I could like at least like exercise through. But this was just like, I feel like I've been starting from nothing. So it's really hard to tell. Pre-surgery Frank felt a lot better running than post-surgery Frank did. But I think we can give it some time. This morning was kind of my first workout that I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm capable at this again.
I can't imagine being able to breathe out of your nose is going to hurt you in any manner. So
yeah,
I'm
probably
excited
not.
to see what it'll do for you. I mean,
I'll at least sleep better.
Yeah, that would be a nightmare.
A lot less nosebleeds for sure. So I guess kind of, you're kind of a guy that seems to kind of just really go for it in a lot of races. Is that something you've kind of like always done, like setting really ambitious goals? Is that like a team motto as well, kind of like really going for it, or is that a personal thing?
I feel like I've kind of been doing that my whole life, running wise, and like through college, going to Furman University, a lot of like our cross country like goals going into races was like, get out and hang on. Like, it's cross country's a war of attrition, and that was kind of always like how we raced in college. And I remember like seeing our like freshman year, or my freshman year, it was like a bunch of freshmen and sophomores like all like neck and neck with Cheserek at like pre-nats and like one of the early season meets, and our coaches were like, what the hell is going on? But that was just kind of like, I feel like that was always the mentality I've had like through college at least. But I definitely, in practice now, I don't think that's like on our minds. Like setting lofty goals is in talking with Richie, I've learned that I can, whatever I tell him what I think I can do, and he tells me yay or nay on that. Like, I very rarely, he like tells me what to do. I'm like, this is what I was thinking, what do you think? And he's like, yeah, sounds good to me. And that kind of support, I think, is what makes it really easy to like have the confidence in myself to give myself a chance, give myself the opportunity of maybe coming away with a big one. The past few marathons have gone. Chicago was all right. I was just listening to y'all's chat with Zach about that, and I was like, we had different days that day. I remember that day very vividly, very differently. A funny thing on that, I remember after Connor dropped me off at the 20-mile mark thinking, well, at least I'll be second American. And then Zach comes flying by like it's nobody's business. And I was like, oh, all right, third's good. Fourth, fifth, sixth, and so forth. But I think a lot of the lessons I've learned through those races, my coach has kind of been like I'm training well. You're not doing anything necessarily wrong. And like at the level, like at what we're doing, like I'm confident that what I'm like going out for isn't an unreasonable thing for my abilities. But I think we're still kind of figuring out the like missing piece of training of like how to structure things differently, how to, what kind of work we need to prioritize over other kind of training. And that's, I think after London, it was kind of like, something that we've kind of been missing during the London build was kind of like longer threshold-y stuff, like 5:20, 5:30, like 10, 15 miles of just kind of that kind of work. And because we were doing a lot of stuff at race pace, we're faster, but like nothing really like between easy running and that kind of thing. So that's kind of the piece we're gonna toy around with this build up. And Luke Caldwell, my teammate who I've been like doing all of my training with, like we both had like the same result at London basically. So we like know that like it's not just like one of us having troubles. Like at least we have each other to like key off of. Like we're both doing the same thing. We need to change something.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it sounds like it all makes sense to me. And I like what you said about like having that conversation with your coach, because I think we talked about a lot on this, is that like half of running is mental and believing in yourself. So it's nice you have that there with your coach. And it seems like you got it figured out. And it's definitely entertaining to watch.
We'll see.
We're always pulling for you. Yeah, like we're always pulling for you here. So definitely keep it up. Last year was my first year kind of doing some road races. You're at a bunch of them and stuff. And it seems like you're probably right on par with like Ben Flanagan, is like one of the nicest guys, like most outgoing. I feel I'll like put a poll out there to
don't compare me to Ben.
You see, that's what I'm saying. Like this
you're having a nice guy like, off. We'd think you're Canadian the way you're acting right
now. Like
I'd
love to like put a vote to it, but like it'd be rude for.
I try to give Ben a lot of. I remember before Falmouth last year. They gave him the keys to the city, I'm pretty sure, and I think they made him mayor. I think he just kind of runs it now, from what I understand.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that one yet, but that would surprise me. He absolutely dominates that race.
Yeah, for sure.
1 in a row, 2 or 3,
3 or 4, I think.
Oh,
I think he's at 3.
I believe it's 3. But before his third one, I remember like at like this press conference, I was just like, "We all know your little plan, Ben. We're all going to be ready for you." I like to think I made him nervous and maybe gave him the edge he needed to execute. So in hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have said anything to him. But it's interesting. I always like these races are always super fun. Like I love going to like press conferences, and I feel like there's not enough banter that goes on amongst competitors in like public spaces, and I really try to push that. I remember the Houston half last year. I was like on stage next to Connor Mance, and I was just like giving talk to him, sort of, whatever.
As much as you can to a guy like him.
Yeah, and like somebody like asked like, "Are you guys friends or something? Like, or like, do you guys train together? What's going on here?" I was like, "Oh no, we're enemies. I hate him." But
another guy.
Jokingly, I love Connor. He's such a joy to be around. I finally convinced him to come over to play Mario Party with me at our last meet together. He always had to take a nap or always had to do something, but I feel like I'm finally like good enough for him to come join me in video games. I always bring them because sorry.
Is that your guilty pleasure? Video games like Mario, like hobby wise?
Maybe. It's hard to say.
I feel like you got a couple in the chamber right now. You want to release to it. What's Frank doing off the track?
Off the track, Frank is spending a lot of time on his computer doing technical support for Strava.
Okay. How do you like working for Strava?
I love it. I recently found this shirt in like an old box at the office. It's a kudo. It's not a like button. It's a kudo.
That's a kudo.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. It's really after I worked part-time like all through like 2020 and then got my sponsorship with Ultra, and then I was like realized that I feel like I have the time to go full-time, so I kind of like got a sponsorship and then started working even more, and it's been going well. There's some days are busier than others, but I'm fairly busy. I feel like I when I do like have time to just like stop and just relax, I've been playing a lot of the new Legend of Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom.
So you a big Switch guy?
Big Switch guy. My fiance really likes watching Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Oh, of course, with Ice Cube. How could you not?
Yeah. So much. And it's kind of like, she likes falling asleep to it, which is interesting.
Oh, that's a show to fall asleep to.
Yeah, it is. I think it sounds like, she says she gets like a comfort of like knowing that like.
Ice Cube's in the room?
No, that it's like, it's isolated to the TV. Like it's like, you can see it as like an untouched observer kind of thing. Okay. But over the years of living with her, that I learned that I don't like watching TV to fall asleep. So I've now perfected the art of like putting myself in a sensory deprivation chamber-esque to like just like sleep while the TV's on. There's like people screaming, gunshots, and so forth. And I have this like really nice eye mask that is kind of weighted, and I have these like they're these sleep headphones that aren't noise canceling, but I just have it play like a waterfall sound, and I like it's now like how I fall asleep. It's amazing. I love it so much. They stay in all night in my ears, and I can fall asleep pretty like within like a couple minutes after like I put everything in. And then every now and then she'll be like trying to call me and get my attention, and I'm just kind of like dead there. Yeah. And she'll have to like kick me to get my attention. When I'm not tired, I do watch a few episodes with her. But outside of that, I really like. I'm very fond of board games that have like insanely long rules that almost like take longer to learn how to play than actually it takes to play the game.
An example would be.
A personal favorite is it's one called Scythe. It's kind of like Settlers of Catan meets Risk.
Okay. A lot of rules in that.
Yeah, so it's like war based, but also like resource building. Another one that my family's really into is it's a game called Wingspan, and basically it's like bird watchers love this game. Because it like every card is a different bird and has like all these facts about birds. And my mom and my sister are like really obsessed with it to the point where they like can see birds outside and be like, oh, that's a humpback osprey, whatever. And it can hold 4 eggs on its card. It has these abilities, and it's really good late game.
Wait, what was this game called again?
Wingspan.
Wingspan.
I think
I'm gonna have to look this one up.
Yeah, I think it was like voted like one of the best board games ever, or of the past couple years or something. So it's good. It's verified good, and it's not just me saying it.
It's better than Monopoly?
I don't know. Maybe.
We'll fact check now.
I feel like
We'll come back.
all right.
Have you ever heard of the game Axis and Allies?
No.
Oh, I mean, if you like rules, I mean, so my buddy Justin brought this game from home, and we never actually played it because the rules are so long. It's like a World War II game, and there's just so many moving parts, so many pieces with like a laundry list of rules. You should check it out.
I will. Access and analyze.
Axis and Allies.
Access and out. Oh, yes, that makes sense.
World War II.
Like World War II. Yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing.
Yeah, yeah, that
Right.
that
Small
happened.
thing that happened.
Yeah, I missed it, so I've only heard stories.
Yeah, no.
You know how it is.
Yeah, I do know how it is. Oh, man.
That would be. I know you're a long-time listener, first-time caller. Definitely have listened to all the podcasts. So this thing we do is we like going on Let's Run. You a Let's Run guy?
I haven't
Try
been
not
on
to
in a while.
Okay.
That's a shame.
So if you're familiar with it, you know that there's stuff
I
on
know what
there,
it
like,
is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, there's a lot of stuff on there that's not running.
Oh.
Like,
Financial advice and
Yeah, like
dating
why-
advice.
Unsolicited?
We like to key in on the dating advice here.
Yeah. So I mean, this one's a
Amazing.
little more. This is you're on a team. You're a team guy. We're team heavy oriented group. So this we're just gonna basically. I'm gonna read this little story to you, and you're gonna answer it as if they're looking for your advice. Is
Alright.
that something? Okay.
Sure.
So this one is about. The headline is, I kissed my teammate's girlfriend last night, and now I don't know what to do. So basically, him and his teammates, they're hanging out at their apartment, and one of his teammates brings his girlfriend from high school over. So first red flag there, who was visiting for the weekend.
Are you reading this verbatim?
More or less.
More or less, yeah.
Okay.
I'm watching over the shoulder to make sure he's not embellishing.
He ended up talking to her most of the night while my teammate was playing games with the other guys. At one point, all the teammates left to go switch their laundry. Don't know why you're doing that during a party night, but that's what's going on.
Responsible.
He goes, and everyone else was in another room. So ended up making out with his girlfriend before they all came back. When her boyfriend came back in, he started rubbing her back, and she started rubbing his back as if nothing had happened, and they left shortly after. He does feel awful. He goes, I feel awful, and I know I shouldn't have kissed her, but now he's trying to figure out if he should tell her or not. Or tell him or not.
This is a question for only Frank.
There is so much to unpack there. I want to start off with the laundry. Do we think that they were? So it sounded like I'm guessing like at least 3 people left to go switch the laundry. Do we think they were all like using one giant like washing machine, or there's like each individual machine? They just use the entire room.
I'm hoping everybody decided, hey, let's just throw all our clothes together to make it even weirder. I don't know.
I mean,
not a lot of specifics on the laundry of that portion.
that would be a whole nother level if this group of friends also just communal laundry.
Yeah.
That's another.
That makes kissing
level
the
to
girlfriend.
unpack for sure.
Well, it's in college. I feel like they might all be in the same dorm and have like communal laundry.
There's potential there.
This has to be freshmen though.
You gotta hope it's freshman.
Yeah. Who else would ask for advice on Let's Run about this? My next thing The person that made this post, they obviously did their laundry prior to this event.
That is true.
Like, that either means that they are more prepared than the rest of them, or they may be a bit of an outcast, a little bit of an outsider, who wasn't invited to the laundry party. Or they see this individual as the one that's like safe to like leave this girl with. I mean, but I assume this girl will make her own decisions, and like he's not the one that's fully at fault here. All that being said, the coming back and just like I want more details on how they were rubbing each other's backs, because
there's questions there. I mean, how do you rub backs at the same time? Was my one there? Like,
is it like a Christian side hug ask? Yeah.
Oh, we got more.
Are they barebacked? Like, how intimate is the back rubbing?
I hope if it's in a group that's not the situation, but it sounds like if they're doing laundry together and you said it was a old high school girlfriend, or like
I think she was like
they started dating.
His current girlfriend, they're still.
Someone changed it. It sounds like she goes to another college.
Oh,
or at least he said that, because someone goes, "Was she legal?" And we're not going to go into that. All that fun
that's
stuff.
a rabbit hole. I want to live.
But the other thing is, they're having a really good season. A really good season. He doesn't want to cause a rift.
They're way worried about not being horrible humans and team results.
Yep.
And I'm here for that.
All right. What do we have there? Like username, or what they wrote in as?
His username is messed up. This was 5 years ago, so it's been resolved.
All right.
He's got another year of eligibility for sure.
Yeah, but actually, if you think about it, he could damn well still be in school.
That's what I'm saying. He's for sure got an extra year.
So he definitely. I mean,
I want to know if they're still together.
Woo. Well, I'm telling
you. All
right.
These days. Well, I want to address messed up directly if you're listening. If it was 5 years ago and I was giving you advice now, or at the time, I would tell you, like, maybe you should tell your teammate. I assume y'all are close, you're friends, you see each other every day, you're at least you go to the same parties at the very least.
Laundry parties?
Yeah, laundry parties. Or I assume you did this out of like retaliation for not being invited to do the laundry with everyone. And if that's the case, like, you're going about this all wrong. You should not have messed with this girl that your friend brought. But you should tell them. I think maybe wait till you think it would the potential rage that would come from you telling them would help benefit the team performance-wise. Like, if you say you're like half a mile to go in a cross-country race and you're like, you want to give this guy just that edge to help y'all push together to the end of the team, just tell them, hey, I kissed her. I kissed, and
no context.
Yeah, I kissed her good, and then just hope he drops the hammers. Hope his whole like relationship flashes before his eyes.
Hope he doesn't start weeping openly.
Yes. Maybe follow it up with, what are you gonna do about it, and then like try to go out.
I like that.
And then after the race, like, apologize and be like, sorry, I've been holding that in for so long. Like, I'm really sorry that I did that happened, but I want you to know that I regretted it immediately, kind of thing. But obviously none of that matters. It already happened. It's I'm sure that you and this girl are like still together.
For sure.
And it's all because you missed this piece of advice I would have given you about it.
She sounds very loyal, and like this is gonna. It sounded like it was gonna last the semester if I were to go.
Yeah. But I mean, we don't know what the friend's relationship was with this girl. Like, how were things already like rocky? Like, people don't just like kiss like other people when they're like in a committed relationship, you know.
Could have been an open one. Who knows?
That's true. We there maybe have been no wrong there at all.
I mean, I'm not here to judge the laundry party.
yeah. Who knows what that's called?
Yeah.
Well,
Actually, sorry. I got one more question.
I got one
You know, since you did say that, you know, you like you think we need a little more banter. We asked Zach this question, and he kind of took it a really weird route. But who's one person, a friendly battle? You know, no hard feelings. Who is a person, fictional or real, that you could beat in a fight? 100% convinced.
Wow. Who did Zach say? Did he say me?
No. Zach went down. Speaking of World War II, he said Hitler because everybody would love him beating Hitler up.
yeah, he threw the H-man out.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
we got
but does that make him assume that he can beat Hitler up? I assume Hitler has had like at least some form of military training.
Yeah, I mean, it was, you know,
I don't know.
I like his odds.
Yeah,
I'll put it
Zach's
that
definitely
way.
not the guy to say that he could beat somebody in a fight. So he struggled
Right.
with it.
Zach's a ground and pound kind of guy. You don't want to get him on the ground. He's scrappy.
When you said ground and pound, I imagine him jumping into the air, doing a flip, and then like sitting on somebody.
Almost like Wario.
No,
Yeah,
Bowser
like a
type.
ground pound would be. So I am a black belt in Taekwondo.
Oh my god. Okay.
Is that
And
serious?
yes, but I haven't. I received my black belt in like the 7th or 8th grade, and I think I was like a few months away from getting like my first degree, which is like the next step after black belt, before I realized that, or before I was told that I have to do running now exclusively. So I'm a non-practicing Taekwondo martial artist, and when I was doing that, I went to the adults classes, so I never actually sparred with anybody because the adults don't spar against each other. But I had impeccable form, and like I went to a tournament once, and I won like the form part, like you like memorize a pattern and like you have to go through all the motions, and I had all that down. But the second they put me up to spar, it was horrifying. I was so scared.
I mean, they were adults. That makes sense.
No, they didn't. They put me up with like kids. Like they only spar in the kids classes.
I was worried.
No, they only spar in the kids classes, and they matched me up with this girl who was like a little bit shorter than me, but like she just kept kicking. Like it wasn't hard, it wasn't painful, but she got so many points off me. Her leg was just like in the air, flapping around, like kind of like the back end of a fish. And I didn't know what, like I could easily just like pick her up and throw her kind of thing, but I lost because I just didn't know what to do with it. I never had the chance to actually like fight someone. But in theory, I'm very good at fighting people. I have the theory down. So all that to say, no, I don't think I could actually beat anyone up.
Not even fictional? Not
Not
real
even
life?
fictional.
I just don't want to.
I mean, this is one where.
What about a little bit of like that girl agrees to another friendly fight with you?
Are you claiming revenge? Are you not letting her get as many points?
Maybe if we had like all the protective gear on, like maybe
Yeah.
I'd
Obviously,
have a better idea of what. I think if we had a rematch in that moment, I would have had a better idea of what to expect. Or if I had like sparred at any time in my life prior to that.
Everyone's safe.
But yeah, I guess you're right. I would like to take on that girl on again.
Okay,
Did you miss all of that?
You heard it here first. We will track her down, and we will get a live battle between you two soon.
And for those at home watching, the list so far has been Hitler and a little girl. So
And
there we go.
We have got a good stat tracking starting here for the 7 people listening at home.
You're gonna have a great tagline for this one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Frank Lar says he can beat up a little girl.
Yeah, no, we would never do you like that, Frank.
Guaranteed.
Thank you so much for this. This has been
It's been fun.
truly. I think this will be a top interview, regardless of how many people we bring in.
Yeah, definitely the best Frank we've had.
Oh,
Probably
by
have.
far. I don't think
Wow.
we'll get a better Frank.
Yeah.
How many Franks have you had?
You.
We're hoping to get Frank shorter, and I think.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, no, I think he's worse than you, though. I'll say it right now.
At what?
Everything.
Wow. All right.
I mean, yeah, definitely couldn't take him. Definitely can win in the fight.
No, you're taekwondoing him into the ground, if I were to guess.
That's great.
Or at least I would know how.
In theory, yeah.
Yeah. My dad's name is Frank as well. I'm not a junior, but we do find a lot of loopholes for things using this. Because we have the same name, and like legally we have the exact same name, and our birthdays are also a day apart, so it's also kind of easy to. I wasn't born a day after my dad, like several years.
No, we're picking up on that.
Several
That
years
would
later.
have been quite the anomaly.
Yeah. But like one of the things, for example, I
I
guess so. Maybe
No, I
exclude
think
that
that-
part.
No.
You guys
Exactly.
you guys similar? You like the same height too? Same looks?
I think he's like 5'4" or 5'3" and a half. He's a little bit stockier than I am. Much
Okay.
stronger person.
Okay.
I hate to ask, but does he know Taekwondo as well?
No, but he wrestled in high school.
Oh, okay. So he's got the
Oh,
ground and pound to him.
You guys
Yeah,
you guys got that dog in you. You got all you.
The LARA
you
family
can-
got the dog.
Yeah.
You could say that. My little brother's finishing up at West Point right now too.
You've got
So-
a full-blown military if you wanted it.
Something like that, yeah. But again, I wouldn't hurt a fly.
Exactly. Just in
unless it bit me, I guess. Sorry,
Frank.
it's a dumb metaphor because it's not true. All right, I guess on that note, we'll call it. Thanks for having me.
This has been
I'll let
awesome,
you go.
Frank. Thank
Thank
you
you.
again so much.
Yeah, good luck
Um,
this summer on all your endeavors.
Likewise,
Yeah, what are you racing next?
I'm gonna do Boilermaker 15K in 2.5 weeks. I think is when that
Oh,
is.
nice.
Maybe a week and a half. I don't know. I should look at a calendar. It's coming up.
Yeah.
JP teammate will be there.
Yeah. So
Nice.
talk to him.
All right. What are his
Dark-
smallest and his biggest fears? I mean, tell him that I'm scared of little girls. Horrified to death.
Yeah, the thing is, there's so much to him. He's such a complex man that any given thing can do it.
Bring up the Mets.
Yeah, talk about the Mets.
Bring up how good of a season the Mets are having, and you'll probably get them stirred up pretty well.
All right. Can I mention the Astros too?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he would.
yeah.
Yeah, that would. Work.
Okay. I'll wear my Astros hat too.
Oh,
There we go.
hell yeah,
Ready.
This is gonna be awesome. Well, thank you, Frank.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was really good
We
to chat
hope
with
to
you.
see you soon.
Yeah.